Bernard here on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com. Hope you're all very well, and today we have a little movie review, and it's a film called The Secret Dare to Dream. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscription button, push the bell notification, and all these little movie reviews, and I do TV drama reviews and information vlogs as well. Please push that notification button so you know when these little things come out, and then pick and choose what you want to watch. That'll be fantastic. Yeah, The Secret Dare to Dream. It's a drama, a bit romantic drama. Yeah, directed by Andy Tennant from a screenplay by Tennant, Becca Brunstetter and Rick Park. So all three of them got their heads together and come up with this. It's actually based on the 2006 self-help book. So The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I know absolutely nothing about that, but we'll touch upon that when we look at the reviews and the critiques, etc, etc. What's it about? Well, the story is about Miranda Wells, who's played by the lovely, it's always nice to see Katie Holmes in these films, the lovely Katie Holmes. She's a hard-working young widow, struggling to raise 3 children on her own. A powerful storm brings a devastating challenge and a mysterious handyman, a mysterious, handsome handyman, Bray Johnson, played by Josh Lucas, into her life. Bray's presence and his belief in the power of positive thinking reignites the family spirit, but he carries a secret which could change everything. Yeah, so there you go. There's a twist to it. Yeah, more on that in a bit. It also stars Jerry O'Connell and Celia Weston, who obviously is the grumpy old mother-in-law. Any good? Well, Rotten Tomatoes, the critics hated it in the main. It's only got 6 fresh and 21 rotten ratings, so that's not very good. But the Rotten Tomatoes audience, 51 of them actually put pen to paper or went onto email or was logged into Rotten Tomatoes and put a score, and it was a 92% positivity rating for the audience, so they're not agreeing with the critics on this one. The Metascore again, which is the critics, again not overly impressed. They're only coming up with a 34%, which is only 1 positive review, 5 mixed and 4 negative. So there's only 10 critics reviews, which isn't a massive amount anyway. And they score anywhere between 2.5 and 7 out of 10, but most of them are quite low scores. Some have given them low scores, but have not been, too bad on the film, too derogatory about the film. They have said the film was okay, but they've not really scored it very highly. Internet Movie Database, Joe Public, you and me, this is the one that really matters, isn't it? What you and me think. 305 reviews at the time of recording this, and it's getting an overall 6.1 out of 10. So for this sort of film, that's not a bad little score. That's over a watchable rating, isn't it? And we get little comments and reviews here from some of the users on Internet Movie Database. We've got, it was really pleasant. It was a good movie. I definitely recommend it. I love Sweet Home Alabama by this director, so obviously the director did that as well. Knowing he made that movie gave me a foreshadowing of what to expect. So they're fans of Sweet Home Alabama. There you go. You might enjoy this one. Another comment, a feel-good movie with some elements of The Secret, but not forceful. Yeah, a little bit more on that in my little review at the end. Warm and fuzzy. Yeah, that's a good statement to make about it, I think. Not all positive though. You did get a couple of negative reviews. A tedious romance lifted by a good cast. So not a total negative, is it? I had no idea when I watched it that this was meant to be a sequel or that had any mystical implications. Yeah, similar to me. I've had no idea when I started watching this, because it really is just an empty Hallmark style film about a love triangle. The cast is good, even the child actors are more than adequate, but the movie has nothing original to offer. So there's elements of that I agree with and elements I don't agree with, but we'll get on to that. Yeah, another comment, yes, maybe predictable, but... Yeah, well, there you go. And then we get a little movie game nostalgia comment, my little thoughts on this. As I said, I have no idea either about this secret book or the philosophy. I've actually spent just a couple of minutes looking through The Secret on YouTube, and it's something I wouldn't sit through for more than a couple of minutes anyway. I just know, you know, I know what it's trying to say, but I don't like that sort of preachy sort of stuff. But yeah, in this film, there's nothing overly preachy. There's nothing really, you know, you can see it. There's a bloke who does come over a little bit too nicey and all philosophical, but you'd understand why as the film progresses. But he's not too annoying, so he didn't get on my nerves at all. Josh Lucas's character in this. As I said before, I agree with one of the critiques. The actors do pretty well, even the younger ones, and they spent $9 million on this, which isn't a vast amount, but obviously it allows the film to be a little bit more polished, doesn't it, perhaps than the normal, certainly more polished and actor-wise, etc., than the standard Hallmark film, which obviously people compared it to before. I mean, there are elements of Hallmark, but with the nice romantic drama type Hallmark, anyway, not one of these where women are being chased through the woods at the start that you get. But it does have that higher budget feel of great movie, of movies like Pay It Forward. I mean, I'm not saying it's anything like as good as Pay It Forward or to the standard of Pay It Forward, but it does have that sort of feel to it. And things like The Lake House. The Lake House is a great film. I love The Lake House. It has that sort of feel to it. So it's not up to the standard of those films. But there is a little nice twist to the story, a nice little... I didn't see coming. I mean, obviously, it just looked like a standard rom drama to me, but there's a couple of nice twists in it that are quite nice to watch. And it is, yeah, it's just a hot mug of hot chocolate with your loved one curled up on the settee and a box of Dairy Milk chocolates. I don't know if Dairy Milk in the US, I'm not too sure, but some other box of chocolates that whatever you're into, or a bag of Oreos or whatever in the outside of the UK. But yeah, it is that feel to it in an afternoon. It's not a big budget Saturday night film by any means. And even children who perhaps not too young, who like, there's a couple of childish elements in it, you know, obviously it might appeal to the kids, but just what a film you can watch with the children without being anything you have to sort of shut their eyes about, is there, this sort of film? So it is one of them sort of films. I mean, the detractors I've read looking through the internet tend to be those that are more into the actual source material, The Secret, and the book that I talked about before. And obviously this film, as I said, it doesn't really follow that sort of pattern. I mean, as I say, obviously the detractors, the people who didn't like this film, tend to be the people who did like the source material. The critics weren't impressed with it. The critics are not impressed, but in the main, a positive response from the general viewing public, and not just people who like The Secret and a bit, you know, I'm not into any sort of cliques or cults or any ideas like this, you know, positive. I agree with the power of positive thinking, etc. But obviously these things are taken to the extreme, aren't they? But as far as Joe Public, just want to watch a nice film. It is a nice film to watch, as I said, with a couple of nice twists. And I'll say it won't live long in the memory, and it's, but it is a nice film. So I'm going to give it my little MGM rating, my little movie game nostalgia rating of the basic watchable rating of 6 out of 10, because I certainly won't put you off, as I say, but it makes a nice change for me to watching horrors and action thrillers and shooting and killing and people being abducted. It's always nice to have one of these films knocking about, and there's always room for these nicey films. So that's 6 out of 10 for the movie. The poster, well, I don't think you probably... I mean, they probably will sell the poster, obviously, because it's the links with The Secret. But yeah, it's a pretty naff poster. I'm only going to give the poster a 4 out of 10. I wouldn't waste my time, but I'd use it to wrap things in. Sometimes I've used old posters to wrap parcels in, you know, using the white side outside for writing on, obviously, and it's probably useful for that, but that's about it. So I'm going to give the poster a 4 out of 10 because I'm not overly impressed. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this. Please check my links that have been on screen, and hopefully you can join me again for another little movie review or a TV drama review or an information vlog in the very near future. What are you going to do the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. Let's all look after each other. And hopefully I'll see you all again very, very soon. Stay safe, everyone. This is Bjorn saying goodbye. Bye-bye.